A German general stands in the ruins of a city that is already dying. His men are starving, out of ammunition, completely surrounded. The war is already over in all but name. Everyone knows it. But when Patton demands surrender, he refuses. He looks at the American officer and sends back one message. If Patton wants this city, he will have to take it himself. In late March 1945, that city was Aschaffenburg, and that decision turned it into one of the most brutal urban battles of the final weeks of the war. March 1945. Germany is collapsing on every front. In the east, the Soviet army is pushing toward Berlin. In the west, Allied forces have already crossed the Rhine River, the last major natural barrier protecting the heart of Germany. And leading that push is General George S. Patton. His Third Army is moving faster than almost any formation in the European theater. Entire German units are surrendering without resistance. Fuel depots are abandoned. Weapons are left behind. Officers are beginning to understand that the war is lost. But not everyone is ready to accept that reality. Aschaffenburg is declared a Festung, a fortress city. This is not just a defensive order. It is a political statement. Hitler demands that cities like this become symbols of resistance. Fight to the last man. No retreat. No surrender. Major Emil Lammers is given command. For him, this is not just a military situation. It is a test of loyalty. For Patton, however, the situation looks very different. Aschaffenburg controls rail lines, road networks, and a key crossing over the main river. But more importantly, it sits directly in the path of his advance. If this city slows him down, others might do the same. And suddenly, the final phase of the war becomes longer and far more costly. What should have taken hours now threatens to take days. On March 28, 1945, forward elements of the U.S. 45th Infantry Division reach the outskirts of Aschaffenburg. They expect what they have seen again and again: surrender. A white flag. Negotiation. A quick occupation. Instead, they are met with silence. Then, refusal. The German garrison will not surrender. Major Lammers makes it clear. The city will be defended to the last soldier. Inside the city are roughly 5,000 defenders. Not all of them are experienced soldiers. Some are young, some are barely trained, some are part of the Volkssturm, civilians turned into fighters in the final stage of the war. But they all share one thing. They are ordered not to retreat, and disobedience means death. Against them stands overwhelming American force, artillery batteries, tank units, air support, infantry divisions with combat experience across Europe. Patton does not hesitate. He understands the danger of delay, so he chooses speed and overwhelming violence. Shell the city, break the defenses, end it quickly. As one line often attributed to Patton suggests, "We cannot allow the enemy to dictate the pace of our advance. If they want to turn this city into a graveyard, we will give them the shells to do it." This is no longer just a tactical decision. It is psychological warfare, a message to every other German commander still thinking about resistance. And now the question becomes unavoidable. Was this decision necessary? Or was it destruction that could have been avoided? What follows is not a battle. It is a collapse of order inside a city. Urban warfare at its most brutal. Street by street, house by house, room by room, German defenders use every possible advantage. Machine guns placed in upper floors, snipers hidden in towers and church spires, ambushes prepared in narrow streets, explosives hidden in doorways. For the Americans, every step forward becomes a risk. So they adapt. They stop using doors. They stop moving through open streets. Instead, they go through walls. Engineers blast openings between buildings, a method later known as mouse-holing. They move through entire city blocks without ever stepping outside. Every room is cleared with grenades first. Then soldiers enter, slowly, carefully. Because behind every corner, someone could be waiting. The fighting becomes close, personal, relentless. Civilians are trapped underground. Families hide in basements, listening to explosions above them, waiting, not knowing if their home still exists. The city begins to disappear. Buildings collapse, fires spread, streets are reduced to rubble, and still, the fighting continues. But by the final days, reality catches up. The defenders are running out of ammunition, out of food, out of strength, and most importantly, out of time. On April 3rd, 1945, the resistance collapses. American forces take control of the city. Major Lammers is captured. But what remains is not victory. It is devastation. Nearly 80% of the historic city center is destroyed. Entire districts reduced to rubble. Hundreds of soldiers killed. On both sides. For a battle that would have no impact on the final outcome of the war. Because within weeks, Germany would surrender. Patton's strategy worked. The message was clear. Resistance would not slow the American advance. It would only destroy what remained. And other German commanders understood that. Many chose surrender after seeing what happened here. Lives were saved, but at a cost. And this is where history becomes complicated. Because this is not just a story about strategy. It is a story about decisions, about responsibility, about the line between duty and destruction. So what is honor in war? Is it obeying orders to the end? Or is it knowing when continuing the fight no longer makes sense? Because sometimes, the most dangerous decision is not to fight. It is to keep fighting when the outcome is already decided. So now the final question is yours. Was Major Lammers loyal, or was he responsible for the destruction of his own city? Write your opinion in the comments. I read them all. And if you want more real, detailed war stories like this, subscribe and support the channel. Because history like this is not always comfortable.
Thank you for watching. My name is Mike. And this was history from a perspective most people avoid.